Guys, before we get going, you know what it is. We got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Thank you to Tony, Starla, Luke, Jacob, Jeff, Adam, Chuck, and Justin. Listen, if you guys want to be a Patreon member and help support this silly little show that Luke and I do, you can go to patreon.com/AITDpod, get ad-free episodes, all that good jazz, and extra little content here and there from us. If not, come join the Discord, fam. Guys, the Discord's hopping now. There's new members coming in here left and right. Come on. What are you waiting for? Come hang out. Come chat with it. Like I said, we got a good group of people in there. Quite a few shop stewards in there, too. So if you have any questions about work and you don't want to ask, certain people, come in there, ask us, and we're all very friendly. You know what I mean? So come hang out with us in the Discord as well. You can find that in the episode notes. But enough of that stuff. Guys, we got episode 179 about to get to you here underway. We got a very special guest joining today. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Luke, you ready?
Yeah, brother. I'm ready.
I'm ready. I know our guest is ready. Guys, episode 179. Here we go. We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left him right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
You got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode 179. For those of you that don't know, listen, this is take 2. All right, I already fucked up in the beginning intro, but you guys aren't going to hear that because we cut it out. But I'm still struggling. It's as you guys are listening to this, it is right in the crack of peak or right in the middle of peak, and maybe I'm struggling from that already because it's been a long week. But anyways, what I forgot to mention at the top, though, before we get into our special guest, and I introduce Luke here. Guys, Saturday, December 20th, is our Christmas Live episode. You can come follow us there on YouTube and get notified for that as well for when we do our 4th annual Christmas Live. 4 years in a row. And what a good time it is, guys. So come hang out. Come grab your eggnog, gingerbread cookies, whatever you're drinking and eating, and put on the fireplace if you have one and hang out with us. Saturday, December 20th. But now, enough of that stuff, like I said. Guys, let's go across the screen here to my co-host down in West Bygo, Virginia, Luke.
Fuck.
How are you, buddy?
Well, brother, this being a pre-recorded episode, I'm hoping I can look back at when this is being recorded and not say that we had a shitty stretch of a sleep schedule because my daughter is wide awake as we record tonight, which normally she is not, but I told Dave I went home on my break and she was done. She got up real early this morning and she made it 20 minutes when I got to the house and was asleep at 3:30, and my wife texted me at 6, still out cold. I was like, oh boy, this is going to be. So hopefully when I listen to this, I'm like, it's either going to be like, oh, it's it's just a 1-day thing, or maybe we had a 3 week to a month banger. Maybe it's still going on as this episode gets released. Who knows? But no, I'm good, brother. Peak. So far as we record this, just the very beginning of peak season, technically, it's been pretty simple for me. I have no complaints. I actually wouldn't mind even having, I don't ever like to wish for more work, but there's just stuff that gets taken off. Like I basically every day now take commercial stops off the PBD route. I just scan them in my board because I keep thinking like, dude, I'm not letting them do it because I don't think they're supposed to anyway. But that's a whole nother thing. My PBD driver is a preloader though. She's solid, so I don't. She like understands that. I could take whatever really stopwise. I don't know how strict they are on that, but anyways, yeah. Week's been good. Peak so far has been good. Don't know when this gets released. It might have gotten a little heavier, but yeah, I'm good, brother. Just happy to be here this evening.
Good, yeah. Good. That's good to hear. Let's get in and introduce to you guys our guests, shall we? I mean, this is going to be a very interesting episode, to say the least, because he is from one of only 2 locals that do not abide by the master contract. And so we're going to learn a little bit about that. I never knew this existed. Luke never knew this existed either. And now that, I think we became friends and have become even more better friends over time here and gotten to chat with each other on the phone many times already and talking to each other through the Discord and all that. Guys, he is it's not even down. Is it across? Over in Indiana. Guys,
across.
Please welcome to the show, Greg. Greg, how are you, buddy?
Fuck. I was trying to do Luke's fuck.
Yeah.
What's up?
You know the craziest thing about that is that sound bites from the very first episode. I mean,
really?
Very first episode.
That fuck came from the very first episode.
That's funny.
That thing has been a staple for sure.
I swear I've heard that even just on the telephone. Talking.
Yep.
Yeah, talking to Dave. I swear I heard a couple of fucks in there, and I'm like, wait, where's Luke at?
Yep.
Oh, dude, it was funny because shout out to Lars, who's a past guest of this podcast, and also a UPS driver and has a podcast of his own. Shout out to Lars Cast, and he had Dave on an episode of his and me, like us individually separate, and Dave played the sound bite, and it was so weird because I was like, man, God, I feel like I should be in there right now. Like I heard that. It was so weird, but that definitely,
some FOMO.
Yeah, it was weird hearing the sound bite and listening to it because I'm like, I've just heard it on here, and it was like, whoa, right. And they're like, oh wait, this is totally, but nah, that's I don't know exactly where we'd have to re-listen to it, and that one is I don't
even know where, but it was somewhere episode 1.
We got better along the. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've listened to it now. It may not even be as bad as I remember, but I just remember. I don't feel like it was our first. I've always said I was in my living room with the TV on and my dog and cat running around, and my wife on the speakerphone with one of her friends, like sitting right there, like dude, having just completely oblivious to how any of this worked. But yeah, episode 1, man.
Good times. Good times.
Well, that's
so Greg.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah. So Greg, like we love to do with all of our guests, please take us back, buddy. Tell us about yourself. Let our listeners get to know you a little bit here. And so take us back, man. Have you always lived in Indiana growing up?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm in Lafayette, Indiana, home of the Purdue Boilermakers. I'm a townie here. I would actually be first generation in Lafayette, and what's crazy is my wife and I are both townies, and I think she's like 5th or 6th generation Lafayette. Like on her maternal side, her family like came over right from like Amsterdam to Lafayette and like never left our specific part of the town. But we're in the north end of Lafayette. Everyone calls it the north end. And they've been here ever since then. And like,
Wow.
I even read like a crazy clip about her like great grandpa that like he was a lawyer, but like got busted in like a fucking hooch ring or some shit. It was like
Legend.
it was
Love it.
crazy.
The
I would
time
have
period.
loved to have met him. But
Fuck.
I married my high school sweetheart. I love my wife Kate to death, and we both went to the same high school. And her grandfather was actually a UAW president of the local here in Lafayette.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the when her grandpa worked there, it was called Ross Gear, and the Purdue Boilermaker football stadium is actually called Ross Aid Stadium, which was
That's
named
right.
after the guy from Ross Gear. And unfortunately for the workers at it's now called ZF, their plant's going to be getting closed. It's like they're already moving the equipment to India, and like that, it's like totally going to take away like a whole legacy.
Yeah.
Which is really really fucking sad, right? But so my wife is like super supportive of the union because of her family, and my dad was a union concrete finisher, and I have relatives that are all concrete finishers here in Lafayette, and I thought that's what I was gonna do. And my dad's 30 years older than me, and I kind of saw him kind of. I don't know if you've ever done concrete, but it's hard on your body. And
Oh, dude.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it beat my dad down, and I'm like, I need to figure something out for myself. And I have a older half brother that was working inside as a Parker washer, and I was like, you know what? I need something else. So I applied in in September, and had to drive to Kokomo, which is like 45 minutes away from here, for orientation. And
What year was that?
I started in 2007.
Okay.
So right before the recession.
That's when I started too. It was 2007.
Yeah. And so it was actually kind of perfect because, when the recession hit, the construction, I was still doing construction and working part-time at UPS. Construction slowed down like big time. So I kind of like got in at a pretty decent time. And, I did that. I did preload for a year and wanted to not live anymore. And then I filled in on local sort, and I had a supervisor, the coolest supervisor I ever had, Daisy. Shout out to Daisy. He was like, "Hey, why don't you come over and work on the night side?" And I was like, "Can I do that?" He was like, "Yeah, just tell him that like your job like makes you, your schedule's fucked up and like you got to change." And I'm like, "I can do that?" He's like, "Yeah." So I did that, and they were like, "Okay, you can only do this once. You can't switch back and forth." And I was like, "Believe me, I'm never gonna fucking do that shit ever again." And I did that for 7 years, and learned almost everything you could learn on local sort. And then after about 5 years part-time, I was like, I don't think that I can do a full-time job and a part-time job for like 30 years. So I need to really get my shit together. So I was like, at the time you had to learn stick shift, and I literally failed 3 years of road tests. I think I probably in our center I failed more than like anybody else. And finally I bought a fucking a beater on Craigslist for $600, way more than the car was even worth. If it was a Honda Civic, and if I didn't put oil in it every day, it would fucking blow up. Like that's how much oil it fucking burned up. And after like 6 months of driving that, I got that shit down. And I finally fucking passed the road test. And yeah, I was like, and when I it was crazy. For Intergrad, they had just built a new Intergrad facility in like, I think it was like Houston. And the HR lady was like a friend of the district manager. Like, she was the bartender at the bar that the district manager liked to go to. And she got her a job at HR. So this lady had like no effing idea what UPS was like. So she bought me a ticket for Houston before signing me up for the Intergrad class. The Intergrad class filled up. Now they have a ticket for me to go. So they're like, they decided to make a class in Franklin at the one like by Chicago. And they're like, okay, we had enough people. We had to do this one at the Intergrad in Chicago. Now you're going there. But you have to fly. And I'm like, literally 2 hours away from Chicago. And so I had one of my buddies on Local Sort drive me an hour to Indy to fly to Chicago and do Intergrad. And it's like, it's so funny how much, you know, the company likes to throw money away. Like, how ridiculous.
Just dumping it.
Yeah, well, just dumping it.
I gotta ask, because I don't know why when we were talking on the phone and when you said, you know, because I told you I had some family that lived in Fishers in that area. I totally wasn't even thinking about the Purdue thing. Are you a Purdue football fan by any chance?
Well,
or do you like football in general?
So I grew up playing football, and like I started at a young age, and I played football, and then like my dad was like, I grew up in like a toxic masculinity like family where they're all like, you know, machismo and like all boxers and all this shit. And and so like my junior year, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. You know, football is not going to take me anywhere. I want to be an artist. So I quit the football team to be an artist and like took as many art classes as I could take. So like I actually did not play football my senior year. And I actually have dreams sometimes that like I somehow go back to school because I didn't like play my senior year and play. But it's super crazy. So I actually do not enjoy football as much because of that. I
understand that.
Yeah, I may watch a couple games a year, but not like, I'm not like crazy about it. I tried to organize a day where drivers all went to a football game, and we did that once, and it was kind of fun. Purdue was playing like a nobody team, and they got their ass fucking slapped. And so it's kind of hard to get like excited about that because it's always a hype game. They're always like it's going to be the year, and then like it's like not.
My favorite player of all time, like as a kid, my childhood hero was Mike Allstott, and
The A Train.
The A Train, exactly. That's why I had to ask. I was like, dude, when you said Purdue, I was like, oh, he's got it. But back to me being, and I do love football, but back to what you like, I would ultimately always say, no matter what, and I mean, I have a daughter, I don't have a son, so I'm not, my daughter's not going to be. She's going to be pretty petite, so football is going to agree with her anyway.
Yeah.
And, but for me, ultimately, it's, like being, because I'll be 40, as this is released, I'll be 41. And I obviously come from the era, my dad, I don't want to say my dad, my great, but like it wasn't toxic masculinity, but it was being tough and shit. My grandfather was a Marine in World War II. He was a badass. I mean, he always was cool to me. My dad would tell me stories. Like he would say it would be funny because if I just spilled something or knocked something over at the house, he would say, "Oh, it's okay, Pop. We'll clean it up. We'll get another one." If I'd break something, my dad would just look and be like, "Man, when I was a kid, he'd have just ripped my." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
with the, I think that. I hope moving forward to like that, because I'm assuming, and you don't have to get into that, but when you quit playing football and you were just talking about toxic masculinity and machismo with your family, I'm assuming they probably didn't take that very well. And,
yeah, Dad didn't like that so much.
yeah. So my point with that being is like ultimately people want to do and enjoy what they want to enjoy, what brings you joy to do in life, because as much as I love football, I mean, I played enough to play at a small college level, but I was never going to be a professional football player. It would never have been like. When I look at it more now is like the people, especially in college, because I couldn't tell stories of our greatness because we were terrible. We weren't very good, but the relationships that I have from it is all like really that's what means more than any actual playing of it. But so whatever. Yeah, I'm like but with having a daughter, because I was thinking before we knew if I was going to have a son or a daughter, because everybody would ask me, if you have a son, are you going to let him play football? I'm like, well, if he wants to, I will.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shove a football down his throat. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Come on, boy.
Got to break that cycle. But yeah, man, but no, I just trade Mike Allstott. He was my hero. Still looks like
Mike Allstott,
dude. He fucking. I saw a video of him because I follow him on Instagram the other day. It's like shit, dude. He's well in his 50s and still looks like he can fucking just smash a goal line and score a touchdown.
Yeah, the A Train. He was. I met him as a kid, and obviously, I hope most student athletes would be like, nice to kids, but he felt genuine, and that always kind of like sticks with you. Yeah.
That's good to hear, because you hate it when like people you look up to turn out to be assholes, and it's like, I'm so glad you said that, because I'm like, man, it makes me feel good now.
Yeah, from being from Indiana, like Axl Rose was actually born in Lafayette, and like he's such a fucking asshole. Yeah. Like he didn't even go to his mom's funeral because he hated Lafayette so much.
That doesn't surprise me that he's an asshole, though, for some reason. Yeah. He just kind of has that about him that.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy shit.
I had no idea he was from there, though.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say. No, I was just going to say with Axl Rose, there was a thing with a documentary Metallica one time where they had a riot at one of their shows, and they had a riot because Axl Rose, James Hetfield, that's when he got burned from the pyro mishap. And
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses could have came on and Axl Rose was throwing a bitch fit and they fucking
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm not fucking going out there.
Yeah, and then they all trashed the place.
Yeah, and I mean, people were like stealing fucking like equipment, like they found like one of the bass stacks, like at a bus stop. Like the bus driver was like, "No, you're not fucking going in here with that thing."
Oh my god!
But Shannon
wild.
Hoon was from this area too.
That's wild.
From Blind Melon. Which
Blind Melon,
I think he was actually a good guy.
Blind Melon.
But that's crazy shit.
But fuck Axl Rose.
Yeah, but fuck Axl Rose.
Yeah, like Welcome to the Jungle, such a good song, but man, I've just
it really is.
Doc, he's an asshole.
Yeah,
can't deny the music,
sucks.
but yeah, he'd still be a nicer person, but yeah, he fucking.
So yeah.
So now
I guess getting back to UPS. Yeah.
Yeah, you said 2007 is when you started?
Yeah. Yeah, my seniority date's like 9/27/07. Yeah.
So going on 19 years?
Yeah. It's crazy to even think of that. Yeah. Yeah.
and go ahead.
With 20, I'll get my 6th week of vacation. I'm really looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
See, I will only get my 5th here. So,
yes.
So that was something. We'll talk because I'm assuming that's part of your contract that isn't part of the now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to bring that out just yet, but
no.
Ahead,
I mean, I was gonna say. So you are one of the shop stewards at your building. Is it just you, or is there a couple of others?
There's several other shop stewards. We have a shop steward. The chief steward's a mechanic, and then 3 other RPCD driver stewards, and then we have a feeder steward as well. Mm-hmm. And I've been a steward now for it'll be 5 years in January, I believe.
Awesome.
No, maybe 4 years in January.
Okay.
4 or 5. Who's counting?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm somebody actually asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, I never even considered it, and I was like, yeah, I think I do, and I kind of went balls deep into it, and just tried to, learn as much shit as I could.
Absolutely.
And with that, I got my mind blown when it came to like negotiations, and I was like, wait, they're talking about this stuff over here, but like we didn't get any of that. Mm-hmm. And so it turns out that there's out of the UPS contracts, there's the national contract, which everyone has, and then they have their own supplemental, by region or whatever. Yep. And then there were 2 holdouts that didn't like agree to going under the national contract, and those were both out of Chicago. So I'm in 710, and then the other local is 705. Our hall used to actually like be across from the stockyards, so like it was mostly like meat packing and that type of industry. But then as I've been in the union, they sold that building, and then they built another building in the suburbs. So like, we were technically in Chicago, but now we're in Mokina, which is, whatever. I mean, it's Chicagoland. But so like 705 is mostly like Chicago Metro, and like package car, and then inside, and then a lot of the 710 guys will do like feeder work, but like over road, like they're feeding like hubs that aren't in Chicago mostly. So like catch is there's like hundreds of feeder drivers that are in 710 that work at catch, and then like sleeper teams and all that shit. So there is a book that I learned a lot about UPS, and I just want to plug it because it's really interesting. There's a book by Joe Allen called The Package King, and you can look that up on Haymarket Books, and it has a lot of really cool information, especially about like the beginning of UPS. And the Package King is actually what they called Jim Casey. So it's kind of like his thing, and it kind of like tells the history about the expansion and like the union corporate like relationship. And
that was
some
almost
of the falsehoods
that was almost my
that we were taught.
That was almost my social media handle one time. The package.
Really?
No, I'm just fucking with you. I was
kidding. Like, holy shit,
I'm just
bro.
kidding, but can you imagine?
Yeah,
that would have been a good one. But,
yeah, man. That's what
Jim
you should
Casey
name
had
your
it back
next
then.
kid. The package king. Yeah.
Dude,
I can't get bullied so hard in school.
Listen. Dave, you would have to. It would go hand in hand. That's is it TMI to say that we've talked about this, correct?
It would make sense since I've gotten snipped. So like the fact if he did happen to slip through.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? He would be the package king.
Boy or girl, that is literally the package king. Because that is coming from a 0.01% chance.
Sorry.
Awesome.
Anyways, I had to make a joke. Sorry, but now go ahead.
But so there were 3 locals that didn't sign under the national contract, and that other local was 804. And when I'm getting Casey's mixed up. Ron Casey, when he got elected to be the IBT president, he opted 804 into the national because I think it was like, hey, if it's good enough for 804, it's like good enough for everybody else, which I can totally understand that. And so as like an early young Teamster, I was always told that that 710's contract was like the national, but like beefed up. And I believed that until like I met other people from other places, and then kind of like learned different things that are in the national that we don't have, and there are like some things that may be better, but with this last contract, I think that it's kind of like vegetarian.
So are you able to like have some comparisons between stuff that we would have in the national that maybe you're like, I wish we had this.
Right. So like,
and then I guess it's like a second question, like a follow-up question to that would be, would there ever be a time that you guys could get on the national?
Right. So
If they
I'll
wanted
go ahead
to,
and
is the thing.
right. I would
Because-
go
Right.
ahead and I'll go ahead and answer the second thing first. So like, if we wanted to go under the national, like we would actually like the rank and file would have to organize to go under it, which we're pretty unorganized as of right now. Like, Teamsters are like, we lost our team, and I'm trying to put the team back in, but everyone's kind of like, really, really separate from each other, and it would take a pretty large scale organizing to do that without like the locals' approval, so to speak. But so I think I was telling Luke this earlier today. I was talking about the heat safety language. So we have zero heat safety articles, like none. We don't have anything that talks about the ice machines, and also we don't have like the cool zone language. So like, say you're getting heat stress, and like you can feel some of heat stroke symptoms coming on, right? Like you're getting slurred speech, and like your cognition's going out, and all this other stuff. Under the national, y'all can like send in a dyad message saying, hey, like I'm feeling the signs of heat stress. I'm going to go into a cool zone, and I will send you a dyad message, when I'm done. And so you go into a place that you can cool off, and then when you're done, you say, okay, I'm good. I'm going back on the road, and that's all on the clock. Now,
I was just about to ask that. Okay.
that's all on the clock. Now,
Okay.
you're gonna have to do that legit. Like you're really gonna fall out, and like you're saving yourself, right? You're gonna get yourself into trouble if like you do that and you stay in your package car with like the fan not even on. You're gonna get yourself in trouble.
Right.
But like if you're really using the language, you're safe, right? And we don't have that at all. Another thing that we don't have is the 48-hour notice for ride-alongs. We don't have that. So they can just tell you, I'm riding with you today. So that kind of goes along with the added harassment language that you all got in the national. And we didn't do any added harassment language. 8-hour requests, you all get paid. Well, most people get paid for 8-hour requests if they're violated, but we don't get paid. That's not like a paid grievance. Now we could, after telling them that we don't have, or that we're going to be violated, we're supposed to send a message at 11, a dyad message at 11. I'm not going to make it. And then again at 2. And if they don't respond by 2, then you can actually bring your shit back, which is, I guess, okay,
Sure.
But, and then, so one of the things that I think is actually maybe a little bit better than national is our 9-5 language. I'll say what's better, and then I'll say what's not better.
Dude,
our
I've got one. So go ahead, talk about the 9-5 because there's one thing I definitely want to touch on. But go ahead.
So ours is a rolling 5 days. So it doesn't have to be Monday through Friday. So like, say I got violated on like Wednesday, and then Friday, and then Tuesday. Those are all within 5 consecutive days. So then you can file on that.
Right.
So,
where ours
so
is one work week.
Yes, yours is one work week. So they could technically like hose you, Thursday and Friday. And you guys know. The one thing that ours doesn't have is, so you guys can in January, is it January? You guys can sign on to the 9-5 list. So, which is really nice about that is you can organize around that and get everyone all to get on the 9-5 list at the same time, right? We have a first file.
Yep. Right.
So it's just one person at a time that's violated. So then it makes it easier for management to retaliate against you because it's only like a couple people at a time at any given moment versus like everyone filing.
The whole building.
The entire building.
Right.
Yeah, together. So they can kind of like, shoot people down as they can.
Well,
no bueno.
I gotta bring up, because when you first told me about this really, really blew my mind. And with how you technically don't get sick days. Is that right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
The sick day thing, really. Go ahead.
Right. So you were saying that you were getting ready to get you said you were about to get your 5th week, right?
Well, I started in 2007 like you did, so I'll be in 2027 in July, or when was my July 2nd is when I officially started, I think. And so I'll get a 5th week on my 20th year. In 2027 I'll get a 5th week.
So I have 5 weeks right now and you have 4 weeks. So there's a week there's a week difference, right? So basically what we lost with that week is sick days. So you guys get sick days. We get nothing. We have no sick days. And so we get 3 optional days that we get in every August 1st. And then we have, and those optional days are by seniority only. So like, you still have to compete by seniority. Now we have a new thing this year that's a discretionary day, or they also call it like an anniversary day. And we get that on our higher date seniority. And we only get one of those, and that can be burned outside of the peak blackout period, but that can be burned anytime. Like as long as it's like an hour before start time, you can burn that, and it's not seniority based. So you could almost use a discretionary day as a sick day, but it's not really a sick day. Does that make sense?
When you were telling me, like, if you wanted to, like, if you had a day where you're legitimately sick and they would want to be assholes about it, that you would have to technically, now I could be getting this wrong, it might not have been verbatim, but would it technically have to be used as an FMLA day to take a day off?
Yeah.
See, that's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah. And so in order to qualify for FMLA, you have to take at least 3 days off, like to like get those days. So like if you're going to use FMLA for being that sick, you have to have at least 3 days to do that. And now with the language in the contract, they can take our vacation days, even single days, one at a time. And even though they say they have to leave us two vacation weeks, we have a member that they took the first 2 weeks were untouched. They didn't start using FMLA until after those first 2 weeks. She was using FMLA. They were taking the from the week that she had left remaining that they could take. They took days out of that. And then she thought she was out of the clear for the last 2 weeks because those are her 2 remaining weeks. No, their position is that you got those first 2 weeks untouched. So now we can take we can take any of those days from your last 2 weeks that if you take more FMLA days, then we're taking from those. And so like this was her last week. She had an FMLA day last week. And so she had to come in and work Tuesday because she took a FMLA last week. So as long as you had 2 full weeks, the company stance is as long as you had 2 full weeks, they're all up for grabs.
Okay, so let's just that's insane. Let's just say that I don't know. I planned a trip in the beginning of November for my vacation. And, let's say this would have been my 4th week vacation. And we were going to Florida, Disney World. Okay, Disney World. Everybody's happy. Disney World. Are you telling me I have to cancel my trip now?
Yeah.
Because I called out sick too many times throughout the year? For real.
Yeah, because you used FMLA. Yeah.
But that's like $3,000
to save your job.
You better not call off fucking sick then, Dave, because they're going to eat that $3,000.
You know what they'd tell you? They'd say, "Well, I guess your family's going without you."
Fuck.
I mean, yeah, dude, you'd still have to send them. You're committed for paying that shit to Disney.
Yeah. So then, our
That's
attendance
wild.
is just like everybody else, So you call in one time, they're writing you up, or you get a written warning, and that sticks for 9 months. And then next one's suspension, that lasts for 9 months, and then termination, that lasts for 9 months. So you can like literally be stuck in this like 9-month limbo for like indefinitely. It's crazy.
How
I don't have words for that. That is
when did you
insane.
when did you run out of days, Dave? Let's do a hypothetical here.
Like June.
So Dave so
I enjoy a day off, okay?
So that was what, 5? That was 5 days then, right? So that would have been 5 days of the personals, we'll call it. Or wait, no, God, is that 10? Because that including your sick days.
May have been 10.
Okay, so Dave got 10 days by June, and you just had a vacation in November that you just had. That right there, dude. So
I would have had to work.
You would have had to have worked.
Or get threatened to get fired.
Yeah.
But also, Dave, you would also have an extra week of vacation because you didn't get those sick days. Yeah.
But he's still so call it off though. Man. Yeah, I mean, you would if you were under this contract, you obviously wouldn't have called. You would be treating this a lot different than you would. But I'm just saying, If he would have taken
Right.
10 days off,
I would have
by
been
then,
accustomed to it.
He
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
been that.
But like
Yeah.
that's
Right.
so
Yeah, just
insane.
saying.
It's so wild to hear
Right.
from like
Or-
the other side, from this side.
Or you just work sick. Like our old center manager, you would try
I
to
always
call
work
in.
sick.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
would try to call in and he'd be like, "Well, what are your symptoms?" And you'd be like, I got diarrhea and I'm throwing up." He'd be like, "No, that
Fuck.
sounds just like the flu. You can come in." It's like, okay,
Oh
I guess
my
I got to bring
God.
some extra underwear.
You can
So
just
what
take
was
a
it like
shit at
during
every other
COVID?
commercial
Yeah.
stop. Yeah.
So what was it
Dude,
like during COVID?
was- well,
They were beating their heads off the walls during COVID.
dude. Well, so COVID was actually, we had the protection of the CDC. So like they had regulations
CDC
that said,
trumped UPS, you could say.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So like for real, like, you could have like, 2 weeks off or whatever, and there was nothing they could do. But
Dude,
as
they
soon
were
as
gritting
they,
their teeth. They were ready
Yeah,
for you to
yeah,
come
they
back.
were.
They were going to slam
real.
your ass. Dude.
yeah, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay, it's just the flu." But
What's your symptoms? I got
go ahead and
102
stay home.
fever, shitting, coughing, hacking up
Yeah.
a lung.
Like, okay,
Yeah,
just
can't
do your
fucking
government mandate. Just stay
Yeah.
out of here, I guess.
Yeah,
My
I
muscles
guess.
hurt, my body hurts.
Yeah,
Are you sure you want me to come
Fucking-
in, boss? I mean, I'm not going to be helpful. My score is going to be like a 4.5. I can barely
Yeah.
walk, boss. My muscles
Yeah,
sore.
no.
yeah. I'm like dripping snot all over the packages and the labels.
Jeez.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Knocking on
I had
doors.
to
Yeah,
type
can I
the
get a
number in
signature?
because I can't fucking. Yeah.
It's not everywhere. Yeah, I just need a signature.
There was
my
always
God.
two moments. There's always two moments of COVID. I want to make sure I throw in here since we're talking about it. There are two moments in the span of it, delivery wise, that will always stick out to me. And one of the first ones was when before I was on the route that I'm on now, and I was still at the tail end of covering, and people were like, "No, you just stay right there, drop it." And like it was just didn't want to come out of their house. And then a few years later, but when we were still technically in it, but it was. I remember I was walking into this breezeway, and this older lady came out of her side door, and she was like, "Yeah, just go ahead and keep it here." And I walked in the breezeway. She told me to come in the breezeway. As she's walking towards me in the breezeway, she's like, "I don't want to get too close to you. I've got COVID." And I mean, I'm talking, we're like standing face to face to one another. We may as well be having a fucking weigh-in. Like a UFC fight weigh-in, dude. That's how clear I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And I'm just thinking, like,
don't want to
boy,
get too
times
close.
have changed over the years.
Yeah. No mask or anything. Just raw dogging life.
No.
Don't want to get
no
you.
mask. She just came right up
Yeah.
and said, "Don't want to get you. Don't want to get too close."
Yeah.
As I'm walking
Here, you
Those
want
were
me to
crazy
sign for
times.
that?
in this breezeway,
Yeah.
Those are crazy times.
just narrowing my COVID balls to fucking drip right at you. But
Yeah.
oh shit.
The best part was like when you're delivering to like old folks homes and there's like notice there are people with COVID in here and it's like, oh great, so like this is how I'm gonna die.
I remember those signs too.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't even let outsiders in. Some of them. Like you got to just leave it.
Yeah.
Those were times, man. Like
Yeah,
we didn't even need
those were-
signatures for things.
That
Like,
was
they're
it was like
nope.
the Wild West.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there was no PCMs. It was great.
Yeah. Do you guys still like stretch during PCM?
Yeah.
We don't even
Yeah.
we don't
do.
even do that anymore. Yes. Yeah.
What's safety anyways?
Yeah, what's safety? We don't care. Why do we have so many lost time accidents? It's not
Yeah.
because we're not stretching, I guess.
No.
Yeah, we're not
Because
doing the
otherwise
hip.
they would implement that.
we're not rolling the hips and doing the neck rolls counterclockwise
Yeah.
and clockwise. That's
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob, if you listen to this, we appreciate your health tips.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Crazy shit.
We've been going for almost an hour now, and
Holy shit.
all the information you've given us is some shit's insane and mind blowing, and then some other stuff's informational, and we really appreciate that, man.
Thanks, man.
Do you have anything else that like was on your mind that you wanted to share about?
Yeah,
anything?
I was gonna kind of talk about like the last contract and how that went. So like Teamster United was doing the escalation campaign up coming up to the deadline, and so I was trying to get everyone active and trying to get people talking and all that stuff, and then with some of those conversations they're like so like what's going on. I'm like, I have no idea, and so when it actually got to negotiations and Sean O'Brien would like release some of the stuff that he was allowed to talk about, because like for whatever reason like everyone has to sign NDAs, so like they're legally not allowed to like tell us details, and
Sure.
And so everybody be asking me like, so how's it going? Like what's going on? I'm like, dude, I can't tell you anything because like we're not being told anything. I can tell you what's going on in the national and like what's being like released up there, and it's like, so like having a white paper is what we're called. Having a white paper during negotiations is especially hard on people like us because we're literally not getting told anything. Still a brownout for us. And when members are asking questions and stuff, it's really hard to like be real with them because like it isn't like what I was told as a young Teamster. It isn't it isn't the national beefed up, because we got like I said, we're missing the protein. And so like in that way it's hard to like organize your people and answer questions when like you don't really know what's going on. And but we still did it, and we are like one of the biggest locals, and we had the only rank and file practice picket that I know of in our local at my little barn in it was really powerful. There were some people on the picket, the practice picket line that like I didn't even think would be there, and it was like it was really amazing to get together, and we had people from the community come to stand next to us, and it was such a great feeling. And one of the things that I learned, though,
it shows like that can happen.
Yes, yes.
And yes, and I totally agree too. Like when we had ours, when all that was going on, is there a cat meowing?
Yeah, it's my cat.
Okay, I was like, am I hearing things? But like, yeah, it shows like when indeed like something needs to happen, we can come together and do this.
Absolutely.
Like you said, powerful. Absolutely.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, we got him.
Still, like within the community too.
Totally.
And like this Sunday, we're the unionized Starbucks workers who are on strike right now. The closest shop is in Mass Avenue, in Indianapolis. They're coming to Lafayette and they're doing a panel here, and they're going to be showing a documentary about them unionizing on the East Coast. And so I'm like still trying to like continue some of that like community work, because if you know if we're not prepared for the next contract, if we're not making these connections within the community, then we got no leg to stand on. And
Totally.
you know,
Totally.
we're all workers.
Very true.
We all work somewhere.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's amazing. That's amazing. Greg, thank you so much for doing this, buddy.
thanks for having me, guys.
This is awesome.
For
One
sure.
last thing too, and we really wanted to start bringing this back. And you've worked at UPS long enough, so I'm sure you have one. I'm sure you have one of these in your mind somewhere. Can you please possibly come up and tell us, whether it be a good or awful helper story?
Okay, a good or awful? Does it
The
have
awful
to be
ones
for
are always
me?
funny. No,
Does it have-
no.
It doesn't
Any-
have to be my own.
Any helper
Okay.
story.
Okay, so so we have a guy at our barn that so he pulled up to, and I always warn the part timers. I'm like, if you get this guy, like, refuse. And I tell him this story. So he pulls up to an apartment complex, loads the helper's dolly up, like chock full of packages, and then says, "I'll meet you in an hour." And he goes to Pizza Hut and takes his hour lunch.
Okay.
Can you fucking believe that shit?
He loads it up and then goes, I'm going on lunch.
And then I'm going to Pizza Hut. I'm gonna go take my lunch and like let the workhorse keep working. I was fortunate enough to like have some really cool drivers, and I always wanted to like be respectful and like kind of pass that on. It's kind of like when you have a good teacher, you know, and it's like, if I were ever a teacher, I'd want to be like this one, you know. And so like I always tried to you know, be the best person that I can be. I want to be like an okay UPS driver, but like a great person, you know.
Absolutely.
And so because of that, I think I probably don't get a helper very much, because I'm not like super like banging it out, and that's okay.
Yeah. I really wish our center was more like Thomas's, where if you work over 18 or your spore's over 18, or spora is a spora.
Yeah, spora. I think it was spora. Yeah.
And, you know, if your spora's over 18, whatever, if you're doing it over 18 stops an hour, you don't need a helper or something.
Yeah.
Like, I wish our center was like that, because, you know, it's just like, it would make life so much easier for everybody.
No. It's the other way. If you're not making 18 stops an hour, then you don't get a helper. So like your score has to be good. So
if you work slow?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And then they expect you to do like 4 points higher. So like or like 5 points higher. Yeah.
God.
So, yeah.
That's wild.
And then if you don't do that, then they take them away.
Yeah. That's been one of the coolest things, like, with, like, doing this podcast, is learning all the different languages and all the different ways different centers function, like, all over the country. You know,
Yeah.
it's been one of the coolest things to like really learn that from everybody. So, and I've just been, I know Luke too can agree. We've been more, just learning again, just even more now tonight, just from you. So,
Oh, absolutely.
Right. I mean, we're almost
Yeah.
like islands. You know, if we don't talk to each other, then like, you know, nobody
That's a
nobody
good.
learns.
That's a good example. I like that.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yep.
You'd be like East Island, and nobody would know like how the fuck you did it unless you
Exactly.
pass on your knowledge.
Exactly. It's awesome. Well, Greg, thank you for passing on
Guys.
your knowledge.
Thank you.
And listen, don't hang up. Don't go anywhere. We want to say goodbye all fair, all right? So
All right.
Don't go anywhere. Guys, I hope you all have enjoyed this episode with our dear friend Greg here. Listen, like we said at the top, you want to help support the silly show? Go to Patreon. You want to come join the Discord? Greg's in our Discord. Come hang out with Greg too. All right, we're all in there. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy holidays to everyone, okay? And be safe out there. And don't forget your most important stuff, guys. So, guys, our guest, Greg. I'm Dave. My co-host, Luke. Everybody, we'll see you all next week.
Later, everybody.
Later.